Welcome to the 5-Minute Murder podcast from 5minutemurder.com, where every week we take a look at a murder, a murderer, a serial killer, or an assassination in about 5 minutes. Episode 2, Mary Ann Cotton. Mary Ann Cotton, often cited as Britain's first female serial killer, is a figure shrouded in both horror and mystery. Her life and crimes spanned the mid-19th century, a time when England was grappling with the social upheavals of the Industrial Revolution. Cotton's story is a chilling one, marked by a series of suspicious deaths that would eventually lead to her capture, trial, and execution. Her tale is a grim reminder of how the vulnerabilities of the time could be exploited by those with a dark intent, and it raises unsettling questions about the true nature of evil. Mary Ann Cotton was born Mary Ann Robson on the 31st of October 1832 in the small mining village of Low Moorsley, County Durham. The daughter of a colliery worker, her early life was marked by hardship and poverty, circumstances that were common in the industrial towns of northern England. Her father's death in a mining accident when she was just 9 years old further compounded these difficulties. Her mother soon remarried, a move that introduced Mary Ann to a new family dynamic that she would come to resent. At the age of 16, Mary Ann left home to work as a nursemaid, a position that gave her a degree of independence and the opportunity to learn about medicines and poisons. In 1852, she married her first husband, William Mowbray, a miner like her father. The couple had several children, though the exact number is unclear, as many died in infancy or early childhood, often from what were reported as gastric fevers. This pattern of child mortality was tragically common in Victorian England, where poor sanitation and inadequate medical care made life precarious for the young. However, in hindsight, the high death rate among Mary Ann's children raises dark suspicions. William Mowbray himself died in 1865, reportedly of an intestinal disorder. Mary Ann collected a significant life insurance payout after his death, a recurring theme in her life that would later be seen as a possible motive for her crimes. With the money from the insurance, she quickly remarried, this time to George Ward, a patient she had nursed during his illness. Ward too died within a year of their marriage, and again Mary Ann benefited financially from his death. Mary Ann Cotton's third marriage, to James Robinson, a widowed shipwright, seemed to follow a similar pattern. Soon after their marriage, several of Robinson's children died, as did a baby born to Mary Ann and James. Robinson became suspicious when Mary Ann insisted that he take out a life insurance policy, and he ultimately left her, a decision that may have saved his life. By this time, Mary Ann had established a clear modus operandi: marry, ensure the husband or children were insured, and then poison them, usually with arsenic, which was readily available and difficult to detect in the 19th century. The death that would eventually lead to Mary Ann's undoing was that of Charles Edward Cotton, the son of her fourth husband, Frederick Cotton. After Frederick's death, Mary Ann became romantically involved with a man named Joseph Nattrass, who had once been her lover. When Charles Edward Cotton, Frederick's son, fell ill and died in 1872, a local doctor, suspicious of the number of deaths surrounding Mary Ann, ordered an autopsy. The autopsy revealed that Charles had been poisoned with arsenic, and Mary Ann was arrested and charged with his murder. The trial of Mary Ann Cotton was a sensational event, capturing the attention of the public and the press. The prosecution presented a compelling case, pointing out the pattern of deaths that seemed to follow Mary Ann wherever she went. Evidence of her financial gains from the deaths, coupled with testimonies about her behaviour and the presence of arsenic in her home, painted a damning picture. Mary Ann, for her part, maintained her innocence, claiming that she had simply been unlucky and that the deaths were due to natural causes. Despite her protests, the jury found Mary Ann Cotton guilty of murder after only 90 minutes of deliberation. On the 24th of March, 1873, she was hanged at Durham County Jail. Her execution was botched, resulting in a slow and agonizing death as the rope failed to break her neck cleanly. It was a gruesome end for a woman whose life had been marked by death and tragedy, much of it of her own making. The case of Mary Ann Cotton is not just a story of a woman who killed for financial gain, but also a reflection of the era in which she lived. Victorian England was a place where death was an ever-present part of life, especially for the poor. The high mortality rates among children, the lack of effective policing, and the widespread availability of arsenic created an environment in which someone like Mary Ann could operate with impunity for years. Her ability to evade suspicion for so long speaks to the inadequacies of the legal and medical systems of the time. Mary Ann Cotton's story has left a lasting legacy in British criminal history. She has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and even a television drama, each attempting to understand what drove her to commit such heinous acts. Was she simply a cold-hearted killer motivated by greed, or was there something more complex at play? The true extent of her crimes may never be known. Some estimates suggest she could have killed as many as 21 people, including her own children. What is clear, however, is that Mary Ann Cotton stands as one of the most notorious figures in the annals of British crime, a woman whose life of murder and deceit continues to haunt the collective memory of a nation. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the 5-Minute Murder podcast from 5minutemurder.com. If you get a chance, please leave a review wherever you get your podcasts, as it will help us to grow. Also, why not check out our other 5-minute podcasts, 5-Minute Biographies, 5-Minute History, and 5-Minute Mysteries. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.